This is the Ollie Chapman Show. I'm here with Charlie and Will. That's it, side by. This is Will and the People.
How important is it to you having that connection? When you're playing to 200 people, you can walk off the stage and go and just chat to everyone, and maybe you get to talk to over 50% of the fucking audience, proper. 1,000 people, it's a lot harder to do that. And then when you get above that, you have to do the meet and greet. Then what does that do to your fucking ego? I love the connection with the fans. I don't know what I'd do without that connection.
What are you doing it for, if not for other people and for the sake of music as well?
I mean, it is, it's been 15 years, but it's still building. We've got new music, and this tour's been great. We've just about managed to make it work through a pretty fucking crazy year. If
you're making music, you're doing it because you want other people to hear it as well. It's not necessarily an ego thing, it's more of a message thing.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But it also, it makes you feel, there's the fucking selfish gene there. Playing into part, you want them to like your music because it makes you feel better about your place in the world. And for me, having been an artist for the last 15 years, now if I didn't have that, I'd feel like an empty hole.
Well, how did Will and the People come together? Because I see you when you're performing, it's a family of brothers,
I mean, Will and Jamie are actually blood brothers. I actually met Will at Glastonbury Festival. We met and he didn't have a drummer, he needed a drummer, so I filled in very last minute. I knew of Will through Brighton and kind of being down there, and that was kind of where we first officially met, and then we did a show literally the day after we met. And then we obviously have stuck together pretty much, since then. So
Will and the People originally came out of me being I was in Brighton and I was like, I want to start a band. So I'll call it Will and the People because it's going to have some people in it eventually. But I like Bob Marley and the Wailers and Sting and the Police and fucking Sublime and bands like that. I was like, that gave me an inspiration. And I thought, at the start it was just me, and I was like, you guys are the fucking people. And it had that connection instantly of they were like, what's it, Will and the People? And I was like, where's the people? And I was like, you're the people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That was the very beginning, the foundation of it.
Yeah. Well, what would you say the message is then? If you take away the band name and you take away all the gigs and everything, if you were to go outside and be busking on the streets of Bristol today, what would that look like? What would you want people to take away from one of your shows?
Yeah, human connection, right?
Yeah.
I suppose that's the kind of main energy which we want people to gain when they come to a Will and the People show, is just to connect with other humans and feel good, right?
Yeah. Soho gig, that was the first time that me and my missus were able to go and catch your performance, and we bonded over your music back when we first got together. When you show each other your first song for the first time and you're like, oh, I hope they're gonna like it, and she was like, I've picked one that I'm pretty confident you'll enjoy. And I put it and I listened, and I can't remember the first one, it must be a masterpiece as well. I saw your music video for Gigantic, which seemed to be completely about family.
I mean, that song came around a lot, me having children as well, when I've had my first child, Bobby, that was a big change for me. And then when Rex was born, my second kid, I was like, fuck, the direction artistically has got to, and that was the song that really led me into the place where I felt comfortable. I'm going to write about this because it feels good, and it was a monster. It was like, fuck, I know this song needs to be right. It took a long time, it took 2 years to finish that song,
But you apparently made Pete Doherty cry from the Libertines as well, I believe, this song.
We did a couple of shows with the Libertines, at Kentish Town Forum. It was, end of last year, I think. And Pete came up to us afterwards and he's like, I can see you guys have been through some shit, Because obviously the Libertines have as well. They've been through obviously all sorts of madness throughout their journey. But yeah, he said that. He said, I can see you guys have been through some stuff. And I think he had a little tear when we played Gigantic as well. But
our guitar tech came up to me last and was like, mate, Pete Doherty had his head on my shoulder and he was crying while you were playing Gigantic. I was like, yeah, he wasn't bullshitting, do you know what I mean?
They're one of my favourite British bands, the Libertines, and I'm so happy to see that they're still doing their thing and they're kind of back at it, because they obviously had a big break and went through a lot of hectic times, but they're kind of back at it doing their thing, and it's nice to see. I see a little bit of our band in them as well.
You guys have crossed paths with so many people over the years, but who's somebody that you haven't worked with yet that you want to get on the bill?
Like a moment where I go, we fucking made it if we played Alexandra Palace. Yeah. Madison Square Garden. I'd love to work with Chris Martin, mate. I'd love to write a song with Chris Martin. I feel like we would connect well with him, and we will connect with him at some point.
For those that want to be the next Will and the People, what's your advice?
Believe in yourself and just keep doing your thing, you know what I mean? And if you keep doing that, I think you good things will come. You know.
Keep your eyes on the prize and remember why you do it and enjoy it. And if it works, it works.
Yeah.